Welcome back. Today I will be building two drafts, one with Haaland and one with Salah. One has a 100% rating and the other a 98% rating. I've built them using the Fantasy Football Hub AI My Team tool. And if you would like to check it out, get your team rated, then you can do so with the link in the description. As you can see above me, the offer right now is 50% off and money back if you don't win your mini league. That offer expires tomorrow, so take action before it's gone. So many people are benefiting from the usage of the My Team AI tool. And not just that, you've got expert team reveals from some of the world's best, including Ben Crellin, Rich Clark. You've got fixture tickers that you can sort by attack and defense, and so much more. Check it out, take action, because again, the offer is expiring tomorrow. And without anything else needing to be said, let's hop into the draft. To start us off, we have Sells in goal and Bentley as the backup. The reason Bentley's here is because there is the potential that Jose Sarr leaves, thus he could become the number one should Wolves not sign Johnson or Ramsdale. So a nice little bit of bench cover just in case. The reason Sells is here is for those fixtures. The fixture run in the first three, especially considering Bournemouth's new striker won't have arrived by the time they play the game on Saturday, is really, really nice. I mean, to have Bournemouth at home, who won't have played a single Premier League game without Solanke, how do they adjust? They definitely can't be better, right? Then you've got Southampton away, one of the best fixtures on the calendar, and then another home fixture with Wolves. Now, since Nuno took over, Forest's data has been fantastic from a defensive standpoint. XGC-wise, they are fourth best since his takeover. And plus, going to the Forest ground is pretty difficult. It's one of those grounds which is very, very challenging to grind out a result compared to some of the others. Their home record is solid, to say the least. So that's the reasoning for Sells. Also, given that Forest's defense is good, but it's not an Arsenal standard, he will face enough shots probably in the game, maybe mid-range shots, mid-level XG shots, whereby he could accumulate saves and thus return a haul at least once in the first three. That's what I'm hoping for. So in terms of the goalkeeper, considering how much I dislike the 4.5s elsewhere, considering how much I dislike going for a keeper above 4.5 because they've always shown to be the better, I'm really, really happy with it. Now, the My Team AI tool has gone for 2 premium defenders in a 3 premium team backline with Barco and Harwood Bellis to complete, both at 4.0. So I guess how I interpret the AI's outlook and as to why it's done this, because there's not many teams that have a back 3 and then 2 4.0s, that they're just banking on City, Liverpool, and Arsenal to be somewhat fixture-proof. Of course, Quansah, the 4.5, actually has the best fixtures out of the 3, which is very promising. His minutes look pretty good as well, and he seems to be more favoured over Konate, so that's good. He has some goal threat as well. He racked up a few towards the end of last season, so that's certainly something to note. The other thing is, given that you can play him every game for the first 6 weeks, assuming his performance level maintains the standard of that which he has done in the past, you don't really have to move him on. He's one guy who could probably increase in value quite quickly as he becomes maybe the inroads to the Liverpool defense, should you need to take out money from Trent and move it elsewhere as the game develops. Then you've got Gvardiol, right? And it's pretty clear why the AI tool has picked him. City are the second best defense in the league. He has fantastic attacking numbers from last year. Now, if you'd watch any of my other videos, you would know that I am not particularly bullish on Gvardiol as a pick, and I don't think that he'll be able to replicate his attacking numbers that he did last season. I do, however, expect some attacking returns from him, just not enough to justify a selection in my own draft, but this is from the perspective of the AI, and you have to understand it, right? He's got a lot of things going for him, thus he finds his way in the squad. And then we have my favorite, Gabriel. I mean, bullet headers galore. Hopefully, he'll have so many avenues to point multiple set pieces in a game. Arsenal set piece taking in terms of Rice and Saka is brilliant. He's obviously a huge aerial threat. They have the best defense in the league. And the fixtures are probably better than are being interpreted on a mass scale, I would say. Plus, they're somewhat fixture-proof, as we already mentioned. So in terms of defense, I really like what the AI has built. Now, interestingly, to achieve this 98% rating, the AI draft has gone with no cheap midfielders and no cheap attackers, as you can probably figure out by now, which is something that has not really been seen in too many drafts that I've looked at, especially the higher rated ones. So it's quite interesting. Why has it done this? Well, I guess it's going for the fundamentals, right? You've got Eze, penalties, 90 minutes, operating in good spaces, talismanic in nature, and they essentially want to just get a lot of players with those type of attributes. You may not think the same about Nkunku, but given how good of a player he is, I expect him to play very advanced. I actually think he'll start at number 9, given Jackson's fitness is not quite there. against Manchester City. So again, you're getting an asset with brilliant fundamentals. Potter will start as centre forward against Ipswich, which is a very good fixture. And I imagine that's what the AI is looking to target. Personally, I'm on the side of avoid, as I spoke about in video 2 days ago, due to the expected minutes and the over-reliance on the fixture in game week 1. But you can understand why the AI has done this. And then it's got Saka as its talismanic midfielder, where it's attributed most of its money and has him as the one premium. I'm really, really bullish on Saka. I can see him doing incredibly well this year. I think it's no secret that for Arsenal to win the league, they probably needed to generate just a little bit more output at times compared to what they did last season. And I imagine the reins will fall on Havertz and Saka should they not recruit anyone else. I mean, he has penalties, 90 minutes, set pieces in a team that is thriving in the set piece category. Great fixtures. I think they're so underrated. Villa away, Spurs away. You'll have space in behind to exploit. So many transitions to exploit. You'll have plenty of opportunities because they are willing to concede those, the opposition. So for me, this midfield is solid. I don't really like the Jota pick, but apart from that, I can certainly understand why this team and why this midfield has helped get a 90%, 98% rating. Just a quick thing to note. I'm obviously explaining from the AI's perspective why it's picked tools. I've really got my model hat here on why it's essentially picking players from their regime. However, tomorrow, when I discuss a player like, let's say, Nkunku, I'll go into far more depth about what I like about him personally, and same with Eze. So you can expect a slightly different video tomorrow when I reveal my own draft. But to complete the front three, you've got Havertz, Isak, and Haaland. I mean, Haaland really needs no introduction. It's very obvious why the AI has picked him. He's captainable in a lot of fixtures, and he has such a high floor. Isak, similar. Obviously, you just look at the fixtures, and it makes a lot of sense, especially considering how he finished last season. Havertz, from the AI's perspective, I think they've got him at a level of expected minutes, which is very, very high, probably close to that 90-minute mark. That's why he's in the side. Not only that, but if you look at his data from, I guess, maybe the latter end of last season, he did fantastically well compared to his competitors. He was right up there in terms of output, in terms of points. So with that in mind, it makes a lot of sense for them to suggest him here in, again, fixtures that Arsenal could do very, very well in, especially their attack. I touched on the bench earlier. We've got two 4.0s here, and I guess the reason is that they've got a City defense, they've got a Liverpool defense, they've got an Arsenal defense. We'll play them every week, regardless of the fixture, given they're somewhat fixture-proof, at least compared to the rest of the field. And you won't really need Barco or Harwood-Bellis. Barco is very useful, given the fact that he has a very, very nice fixture in Game Week 4. Harry Winks should be good for minutes, so that definitely bolsters the rating. So I wanted to show you this 98% rating draft because it has Haaland in it. So I wanted to show you what type of structure you could have with Haaland and a high rating draft. But now that we go to the 100% rating, it's got no Haaland, it's got Salah, and it's going to be a very interesting thing to discuss because I have not once gone through a Salah draft on this channel. So let's get into it. Right, so the AI has got Pickford and Fabianski as its goalkeeper combination. Now, Fabianski is probably there because there has been some talk about Areola leaving this window. Or should he, you've got a 4.0 that becomes the number one at a side that's massively improved and just generally has a lot of quality. So that's nice. It's going for Pickford at 5.0, which I think is interesting. It's very understandable why it's done that. Decent opening fixtures. I do think they're slightly overrated. I think probably a bit more output in terms of the likes of Brighton than most people are considering. So I'm not too sure just because they're at home that they're going to keep a clean sheet. I do understand it, however. Of course, the highest scoring keeper from last year. However, again, I come back to the fact that he's 5.0. And I am so adamant that if every year the best goalkeeper is 4.5, and there's enough 4.5 options which maybe don't look great, but there probably will be one that becomes a standout, you may as well start at that price point, knowing you're going to go there and use that money elsewhere. Money's so tight this year, given a huge player pool and having to get it right and needing to optimize your team in every slot. I think this is one whereby spending more money just doesn't make sense, especially when I think the fixtures are slightly overrated. However, of course, he plays in a Sean Dyche side, which is one of the best defensive structures, at least in the league. And if you gave Sean Dyche, respectfully, better players, I think he could do a phenomenal job, at least from a defensive standpoint. He's got the potential to accumulate a high volume of saves, and thus that really helps his ceiling. So with all that in mind, I understand it. I still don't agree with it, but I do understand it. Right, now you'll see this draft has a very similar defense in terms of the teams that it consists of. As opposed to going Harwood-Bellis, it prefers Wout Weiss at the back. I guess it just thinks Leicester's defense are going to do slightly better. I don't think either of them are going to do slightly well, and I honestly don't think it'll matter because you could rarely have to ever play them. Again, it's gone for the 3 premium teams, but with the omission of Haaland, it has spent the money, 2.5 of it, on Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, Fonseca's great, and he will always get the same clean sheet value as Trent, assuming he plays, but it's the attacking returns that you're going for here. And with a change to the bonus structure, and I would say the difference between the premiums and the 4.5s, well, that gap essentially widens. It makes a lot of sense to have Trent in your draft. I spoke about it in my own draft reveal the last time that if there was one player I probably would have liked that I didn't have, it would be the man that is a potential Real Madrid target in the future. So with good fixtures, with him being arguably, not for me arguably, actually, I think he is the best creative right back, fullback to ever grace the game. It makes a lot of sense at 7.0 for the AI to include him. This is the midfield, and you might be wondering why is Salah in his own clothes, in some shades, unlike everyone else? Well, I thought given he's a captain, I should make him stand out a little and give him a bit of a cooler look. So there he is, and that will be your captain. I've obviously spoken about how there's no Haaland, and the reason is you fund Salah and you captain him. The AI is very, very bullish on Liverpool. You can see with Hotter there as well. To have that triple up for the Ipswich fixture at home and then for the home fixture against Brentford in game week 2. United's record against them in the past has been somewhat shambolic. They've had some thrashings at the hands of Liverpool. I guess the AI is thinking, okay, you know what, that trend could continue. And therefore, there's a triple up. I imagine it also likes to spread the funds, and as opposed to just having Haaland and a slightly weaker team overall, you've got a very, very strong team. And in every single area, you've got someone who's slightly talismanic in nature. Salah really needs no introduction. I still don't entirely agree because I do think his output will be just a little bit short, or the likelihood of his output reaching huge levels is a little bit short given the role of Szoboszlai this year in that right half space, or maybe even Harvey Elliott. But nonetheless, that's what the AI has gone for. Again, I think because of the fixtures and the past data, Saka, Eze, and Hotter have already been spoken about, and makes a lot of sense for them to be here. One thing I would say with these type of models is they look a lot at data. There's no bias. There's no real, eye test there. All their inputs are from data and past performances. And with Hotter having such a good XG, XA, XGI per 90, and the AI attributing minutes to him there, that's one of the reasons why he's there. Then Saka and Eze have such good performances when they've been on the pitch. And if you're going to give them good minutes, that's essentially why they're being rated so highly and a constant in the highly rated draft. And here you have the front line to complete it. Again, in pretty much all the drafts, it really likes Havertz. It really likes Isak. But to fund Salah and to fund Trent, it has gone Muniz from Fulham. Now, I really like Smith Rowe from Fulham. Maybe not really like, but I certainly like him at 5.5. I think he's a fantastic facilitator at his price for what you're getting, a guy with genuine goal threat. AI has preferred to go with the striker, which I understand. If you look at the minutes he's got compared to maybe the points and the goals, very impressive. He obviously had a stellar month where he picked up Player of the Month, and that is almost unheard of for a player outside of maybe the top 6, top 8 sides to have that good of a month and pick up Player of the Month. And with his brilliant fixtures, I guess the AI is, again, just looking to target them. You can see there's a real meta to how it plays, and I would really factor that in when you're thinking about the rating of your team within it. It really is taking data and fixtures as a huge thing, as opposed to things like maybe preseason form, preseason minutes, how many minutes they got at the Euros. This is all type of stuff I would consider before just blindly assuming that 100% is, going to be the best team. But you cannot argue with the fact that this does look like a very, very strong team. A slightly different video from me today. I done a lot of analysis and pretty much run out of things to say on the entire player pool. Thus, I thought I would just show you what the AI is doing because I haven't done that. And if you would like to check it out, again, go to the description, take some action because it is expiring tomorrow. And that is pretty much all I have for you. Tomorrow, you will get my team reveal. You will get the video nice and early, and I will talk through all of my players, all of my thoughts in a lot of depth. And I'm really, really looking forward to that video because I enjoyed revealing my team last time. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Again, make sure to check the link in the description. And please do subscribe to the channel. It helps massively as I pump out content for the entire of the season that is to come. Thank you very, very much. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.